Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword. Gene is off tonight, taking in the theater, and I am here not taking in the theater, so I will be doing solo duty for Friday, August 23rd, 2024. I did the crossword. I didn't find it to be particularly difficult, but I did find it to be particularly enjoyable. Started off with a lot of clues that I didn't know. One across, Pretty Little Liars author Shepard. No idea. Turned out it was Sarah Shepard. I guess that's a hint that I should read that. One down, 0 for 180 degrees was sine, S-I-N-E, and I should have gotten that faster than I did, but I did not. Two down, right next to it was fun. Two down being bit of salty language. Ahoy there. I figured it was going to be something not particularly vulgar, as they generally don't go in that direction in the New York Times. Four down, cosmetics brand owned by Estee Lauder was Aveda, and I finally learned the name Aveda. Tends to show up, it's actually shown up 9 times in the crossword. Five down, organ piece, I thought it was going to be a pipe, but it was a stop, so silly me. Let's see here. 10 down, I thought was great. Fan base added to the OED, the Oxford English Dictionary, in 2023, and that was Swifties. Not too hard to figure out. Definitely made sense. 16 across, rocked in a way, was war. That took me a little bit of finessing to figure out, so I guess you rock something when you look really good in it, but that's sort of an unusual... I found that a little bit unusual, but managed to persevere. Holly genus is an ilex. I definitely got that, every single letter of that through the crosses. 13 down, Planned Parenthood offering informally was sex ed. I did not know that Planned Parenthood offered sex ed, but glad to hear they do. Let's see, what else of interest here? 21 down, how firm a foundation for one. So I started thinking about mattresses, and I tried to get sorta to fit in there, but apparently how firm a foundation is a hymn. And I am absolutely certain that if Jean were here, she could probably sing most of whatever that hymn happens to be. 23 across, spiny reptile that, despite its name, is actually a lizard, was a horny toad. Talk about misnaming. They really got to run that through the old PR department. Let's see. Jazz trumpeter Jones, 22 across, was Thad. I did not know that. I guess I need to listen to some Thad Jones at some point. Let's see. 23 down was pretty straightforward, where Vietjet Air is headquartered. That was Hanoi. Only city I think I know in Vietnam. So, 26 down was watch in a way was sit. That was cute. And 33 down, just had no idea here. 33 down was comedian Aparna, who wrote Unreliable Narrator. Nancherla. And I had N-A-N-C, and I figured that next letter had to be a Y as in Nancy, but it also would have wrecked 53 across. The average person will shed at least one every day, and that's a lash. I had no idea. So anyways, it was Nancherla. I like listening to comedians. I guess I haven't heard any from Aparna or Nancherla Arpana, or possibly Aparna Nancherla. I guess I'm going to have to look into that. 40 across, Tik Tok creator was Keisha, and it's TikTok with a space. And that space is pretty important because I thought they were talking about the person who created who created TikTok. And I thought that was actually a corporation. They didn't actually identify the individual who started it. But in any event, they were talking about Tik Space Talk, and that was Keisha who wrote that song. 44 across was good. Makeup ingredient, DNA, nice. This is a Friday, so we're expecting the clues to be sort of difficult. Let's see. 49 down. 49 down was genre celebrated at the annual Worldcon Sci-Fi. I would love to go to that. Not sure when the next one's going to be or where it's going to be, but I plan to investigate. 55 across. Spice derived from the inner bark of a tropical tree. That was cinnamon. I always thought cinnamon came from festival foods, but apparently there's an alternative origin story there. 56 down. Like the coats of many terriers, for various reasons, I had it starting with a W and ending with a Y, and decided it was going to be waxy. I was a little bit worried about a waxy terrier. I mean, I guess they'd be really hard to hug. They just sort of slip through your fingers. It turned out to be wiry, and that made a lot more sense. That R came out of another great clue, 62 across. Try to get the upper hand, arm wrestle. And 65 across, wine bottle speck. I had all sorts of ideas involving the color of reds and so forth. It was just the year. Pretty straightforward. 54 down was chi-chi, and that was artsy. And that's a word we've seen. It's the clue that I find more mysterious than the answer, chi-chi. And I think that's shown up several times in the clues, but not that often. Let's see, 60 down. 60 down was beat decisively in video game lingo, and that was pawn, P-W-N. I went for own initially, but I needed that P for 59 across. Forest in a metaphor, big picture. So anyways, this was a good crossword. It was by Taylor Johnson, his 6th, and Rafael Musa, his 13th. And they've been doing this since about 2022. And Rafael tends to mainly do Fridays, and he's done some Sundays and 2 Saturdays. Taylor Johnson seems to be a little bit more distributed evenly over the week. In any event, great crossword. Well done, gentlemen. That is it for today. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Hopefully, Gene will be back tomorrow. I hope the play doesn't last that long. And tomorrow's crossword is going to be out shortly. We're going to take a look at it. We hope that you take a look at it. And we'll see you all of you again tomorrow.